Charlotte, how are you?
I'm great. Hi, Darlo.
Good to see you again.
So may I introduce Darlo Perez. He's the regional managing director for Lite-On Storage in Americas.
Yes.
But you work here in APJ too, or are you global, or?
Yes, actually I'm responsible for the Americas region, but I'm also the business development executive for the global Dell Enterprise Server Group.
Oh, right. So let's make it clear. I mean, Lite-On Storage. How do you work with Dell? Where do you come in with your solutions? Yeah, tell us about how you work with Dell.
Sure. Actually, Lite-On Storage consists of two main products. First is the optical disk drive products, and also the flash drives that we just recently launched with the 13th generation Dell servers.
Wow, so you are really part of the game. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's good. Okay, that's great. So Lite-On, it's obviously a big partner here in the Asia Pacific region, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And actually, Lite-On storage devices, such as our flash drives, has been designed for innovation. It's built for quality and also chosen for performance.
Yeah.
And we're talking about end-to-end solutions,
yes.
Charlotte. The fact is, there's a recent study that indicated 70% of IT decision makers actually have a negative effect on performance-related issues, especially when they're trying to access fast data. So recently, with our 13th generation Dell servers, including our innovative solutions from Lite-On, we're able to solve that issue by offering our 1.8-inch SSD drives, and that flash drive actually accelerates the performance by 11 times. So it solves one of the major issues about the performance part.
Wow. Because, you know, I was just thinking about that.
Sure.
I can't really remember the exact facts and quotes right now, but it says that Dell has the largest storage vendor in the world, but it's not on like storage hardware, it's more like on storage on servers, software-defined storage.
Yes.
Does that have something to do with you too?
Actually,
not really.
Not quite, but one of the things that we are involved in, especially with some of the recent data on cloud and big data and data center solutions.
Yeah.
So we offer the storage part on flash there. For example, just to name a few facts and figures for you, a famous website search engine actually receives and processes over 2 million searches each second. So imagine every 60 seconds. So for every minute, these things are processed requiring some form of data storage in the cloud.
Yeah, of course.
And the other thing is the social media, Charlotte. One of the famous social media companies out there actually processes about over 2 million likes and 40,000 posts each of the 60 seconds.
Wow.
That's an amazing figure, right?
Yeah.
And last but not least, I look at one of the video sharing websites.
Yeah.
That actually every 60 seconds, these users are uploading over 72 hours worth of video. That is an astronomical figure which requires some form of storage.
Yeah, we don't read copy anymore. We want to watch videos.
No, that's our own personal videos.
Yeah. Good for you. Yeah. Oh, well, that's great. So here at FRS, you have a booth, right?
Yes.
Here in the exhibition. You can see lots of people that are attending FRS right now. They all have, so to tie the content that is presented in the sessions, to bring it to life, that's what we are doing here in the exhibition. So
Absolutely.
what are you showing here?
Great, thanks for having us here actually, and what we're showing here is all of the products of Lite-On SSDs with different swim lanes. That is from boot, read intensive, and also
different what?
Different configurations,
Okay.
or we call it swim lanes.
Okay,
so
that's a new word.
Yes. It's for application for boot drives that will load your operating system in the servers.
Okay.
For read intensive, that has requiring different workloads, and also mixed use. So those three swim lanes, as we call it, are featured here in this FRS today. And we're also featuring our new form factor, which is our M.2 PCIe form factor, which would be ideal for some of these hyperscale solutions.
Absolutely. So no, later on we're going to have the hyperscale expert here, quite a technical conversation. So if how do you work with Dell? How do you work with our sales teams? How good they get in touch with you? Do you have representatives, or how do we work with you?
Sure. So actually we work first with the product marketing teams, and we have global presence. We have each regional offices having support for your field sales engineers, and also access to our technical product managers for any pre-sales or post-sales issues or questions that may come up during the process.
So you would be really tight with our solutions team, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So they call you when they need that extra boost that we don't have.
Absolutely.
Great.
And so we are the experts in the storage arena, so we do offer our full support to the sales teams of Dell, and also the field personnel if needed, and the TSRs.
Yeah. And were you at the Americas FRS too, or?
I was actually,
okay,
yes.
Okay. And are you coming to Europe too?
Actually, not this time, but my marketing folks will be there.
Okay, okay, cool. Yeah, that's great. So you went to the opening session too yesterday? No, I don't think you did, right?
I was not able to, unfortunately.
So what we are talking about is our three main missions, and I will keep on repeating these ones during the day, like customers first, you know, and then we have the end-to-end solutions, and that, you know, we have all the products, we have the services, that we have SecureWorks here, you know, services, wraps everything, ties everything out together, you know, with a nice bow on top, and then we have our partners. So what we also talk about is that our strategy is very much to include your partners, you know, to be able to optimize our end-to-end solutions.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'd like to speak a little bit about that.
Yeah, please.
For us, when we look at this partnership with Dell, it's over a decade of partnership with Dell, and many experiences with regards to when we talk about partnerships, end-to-end solutions, and all that. So for us, number one, we always pride ourselves in the fact that we design for innovation.
Yep.
Designing for innovation, meaning first and foremost, being able to access some of these components that are basically best in class, and provides, like our product lines today, best in class high quality NAND flash memory, as well as our enterprise grade, server grade controllers that we use. And we do a lot of these customization to make sure that each workload can be can allow solutions with our technology. So we welcome these kind of engineering requirements and support from your teams.
Yeah, and I mean, since you're so integrated with our latest, you know, server portfolio, you are quite tight with our product groups as well, right?
Absolutely.
In Round Rock.
Yes, absolutely.
In the server building.
In the server building in Round Rock. I frequently visit Round Rock as well as Parmer South, so very familiar with that.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah. Well, so what are the key takeaways from this FRS that you would like the audience to learn about Lite-On? You know, our sales guys, I've been in sales myself, we are bombarded, and I was in sales a long time ago. I think they're bombarded even more today with messages. So it's very important that we have these 3 bullet points, you know, that everybody can remember. So do you have, what are your 3 main takeaways from this?
So definitely, thank you for that. The main takeaways would be for the storage solutions that we need to offer in this 13th generation Power Edge, is that it offers the low latency using flash drives, low power consumption, which really solves some of the major TCO issues that are faced today by our customers. And last but not least is always drive towards the performance of the product. Because 11 times performance, as mentioned earlier, on a application workload that requires fast access on the data is very critical when it comes to offering this kind of support.
Absolutely. You know, when you work in sales too, you need to talk about, we're not going to talk about pricing.
Sure.
But I was just thinking about, like, it sounds like your solution helps us to scale too.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So actually, if you look at SSD as a whole, as a general theme, it's really about performance.
Yeah.
And it could always be the key selling point when you're talking about TCO, comparing that with other storage devices today.
Yeah.
And allowing, again, a better use of productivity with regards to accessing the data and allowing for fast performance on the units.
Yeah, exactly. Great. Sounds fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you know what? So your flash drives, they are connected with our servers, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Not to the storage products.
Not to the storage product.
No.
It's on the enterprise server side of
But it's going
ours.
more and more towards storage on the server side, expanding that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I do foresee that happening today. So right now, majority of the products that I mentioned is on the PowerEdge 13th generation. And we also work closely with your Data Center Solutions Group for some of the scale-out solutions that are required.
Data Center Solutions Group. What's that? Is that a group within Dell?
That's a group within the enterprise server group.
Oh, right. They're probably over there.
They're over there. So they're the ones talking about data center. They're the ones talking about big data and other factors such as GDS.
That's cool.
Right.
That's really cool.
So we work with them closely.
Yeah. Important. So we were talking about these. I'm actually from Sweden, and I know that some of these big social media companies, they actually have big data centers in the north of Sweden because they don't have to pay that much for cooling. Yeah.
Good point.
I mean, they have servers, and it's all about productivity and handling as much data as possible. We all know that it's a catastrophe if it's slow, isn't it?
Yes, it is,
Yeah.
actually. And so it's there's a lot of studies, again, conducted by many of the research firms, how flash would eventually, flash drives would eventually be a dominant player in these kind of configurations because of these things.
Yeah.
Because of performance-related issues and also the low power consumption of these particular flash drives. And last but not least, the latency.
Yeah. So when you work with Dell, you work really tightly with our solutions organization. You wouldn't really be in touch with the end customer, right?
Most of our communication would be through your internal solutions teams, but if and when necessary, they do reach out to us to work directly with your customers if needed.
Yeah.
Especially on some of the technical qualifications and when we get to the design phase of introducing this kind of configuration.
Yeah, exactly. So your products, are they integrated into our order system? Do you know that? Is it easy to?
Yes, absolutely.
If it's easy to order,
yes,
it's more, it's easier to sell.
Yes, absolutely. So actually we're on the configuration banner of Dell. So when you go to the website and click the solutions, you should be able to select some of the storage devices.
Oh, that's excellent. That's more important than you think. Let's be a bit practical here too. Not just be so conceptual. Yeah. That's great. So do you have any exciting stories where you have been a part of a deal? Like if you can tell us about, how you were contacted and then you sorted out the solution and the customer is real happy.
Yes, actually there are several customer testimonials that, but I don't want to divulge the names of the customers at the moment.
No.
But the fact is we're working on one major project that actually you received an RFQ, and it required a special form factor, and it's right now on the Open Compute Platform Summit that was announced last week.
Okay.
So it's our M.2 PCIe card. That is
M.2 PCIe.
M.2. I know it's a lot of technical mumbo jumbo, isn't it? But actually, it's it accelerates even faster because right now we offer the SATA drives, and PCIe provides much more greater performance than SATA.
Yeah.
So the pain points of that particular customer required a low power consumption unit, and dense with a very high capacity requirements.
Excellent.
So we should win the business together there.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. You know what? With that story, I think we can wrap up here.
It's a wrap?
Wrap up.
It's a wrap.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not a native speaker, Well, thank you so much
Charlotte,
for coming and coming over again.
Please,
later on
let's have coffee later.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Darlo.